Welcome to the WIP Diaries. Yeah. This week we're talking about brainstorming, specifically on scenes, and then later on in the video we'll talk more about emotional wounds. So stay tuned, because we're gonna try an experiment today. So I grabbed one of my favorite candles, which is this one. I love Novelly Yours. Brittany, who is the creator of Novelly Yours, she's amazing. She's not paying me to say this. I legit love her candles. This one in particular is my favorite. She has bookish candles, and she also has like a home line too that are non-bookish. All of them smell great, and we are gonna light this baby up. I'm just gonna trim the wick down. Since I don't have a wick trimmer, I have to use scissors, and it's a pain in the butt. But what can you do? I don't want like a super large flame, or do I? Okay. I'm being weird. You're gonna have to accept the fact that I'm a weirdo, and yep. That was a mistake. So we're gonna light this baby up. We're gonna try an experiment. Ooh, yes. Fun fact about this candle in particular: each batch is a different color, so it's like a little mini surprise when you get it. Oh, it's just, I'm already feeling my creative juices feeling better. Storms, musk, and a mystery, because my novel's a freaking mystery right now. Not happy. We're gonna set that there. Okay, so my experiment is, I'm not gonna worry about word counts today. As much as I would love to get on track with my word count for camp, it's not going to happen today because I have no idea where Act 2 is going. So I grabbed my favorite writing resources, and we're just going to roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it right now. I've got my notebooks that I used from when this was still a young adult. As you can see, the concept for this started in 2017 as a young adult contemporary romance. And then last November, I had an epiphany, and the epiphany told me that this is not a young adult contemporary romance. This is an adult romance. So I changed it, and everything that I had written before became its backstory. And I'm not upset about it, because that was part of the discovery of this novel, and every character needs its backstory, and so I just wrote that first, I guess. Last November I was going to be working on that for regular Nano, and I think it was like, I think we were a week into Nano, and there was just something off about it. I'm like, it's not working. I had at that time written everything that I could possibly write for that story, and it was going nowhere. So what happened was I brainstormed with a couple of my friends, Dana and Katrina. Shout out, love you. Mwah. Anyway, I'm just trying to get, my brain to tell me what this story is about. That's what I feel like the zero or first draft is supposed to be. It's you telling yourself the story. So I'm trying to get there, and Act 1 is not perfect. I know there's going to be cuts. I know there's going to be ads. It's a work in progress for sure. But the problem is, I don't know where Act 2 is going. I don't know where Act 3 is going. And so I think I need to at least put together a guideline to where I think the story is going to go. And if it changes, it changes. That's fine. That's what discovery writing's all about. Alright, my allergies tonight are absolutely insane. I forgot to take my allergy pill last night, and so don't forget to take your allergy pills, kids, because otherwise you'll be regretting that decision. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna get back to the beginning. So what's really cool about this is that it gives you like the 5 senses that you would go through in this one particular room. So for like sights, you could see soft-sided dividing walls, a nameplate on a desk, or fastened on the wall. So like it's really great for description, but I felt like it was also really great to get kind of like scene ideas. Real bad if I didn't catch that. Alright, okay. So I'm not sure where I was at because the little boy woke up. I put together some snacks for him, and then my daughter was laughing like a hyena at absolutely nothing. So there's a good chance that we have to burn our house down now because a demon is possessing it. Because yes, that's where my mind goes. Because she told me she didn't have an imaginary friend. So who are you laughing and giggling with? Huh? Other than, a ghost. So, there's that. Anyways, I was just looking up to see if there were any more of these writing thesaurus books. And looks like on July 13th, they released a new one. And it's the occupation thesaurus, and you bet your ass I'm getting it. I just have to say something. I'm going through the rural one this time. And I didn't think I'd need the rural one because it's an urban setting, not a rural setting that I'm going through. Okay. So, possible sources of conflict at a winery. An earthquake that causes bottles to fall and shatter. Okay, that would be great if we were in California. My story takes place in Illinois, where I think we've had maybe 2 earthquakes, maybe more, but I haven't felt any. I don't know what it's like to be caught in an earthquake. So, that's a no. Dangerous weather, tornadoes, frost, etc. that ruins the yield. Wait. I'm in the Midwest. This story takes place in the Midwest. You know what's big in the Midwest? Tornadoes. Oh, yeah. They're not fun. They may be pretty. They may be very pretty. But when they're close to you, no. I want no part of that. But a tornado could be real fun in putting some conflict and some entertainment to this story. What do you think? Tornadoes. I love that I just wrote down the word tornado. Okay, anyways. Lena and Kai get... Okay, now should the tornado happen while they're at the office, or should the tornado happen while they're not at the office? I don't know where I was going with that. Let's see. Let's have it at the office because I feel like that would add more tension and more pizzazz. I don't know. No. It would definitely add more tension though. Now, precursor to this, usually there is some sort of idea if you're going to be in the path of a tornado prior to this happening. So I would have to start this scene off with it already storming badly, or at least bad storms coming into fruition, because I don't really think tornadoes happen just nilly-willy and on a clear blue sky day. At least it's never happened here. Maybe in a fantasy. They don't just appear out of nowhere. I mean, they kind of do. Actually, no, they do appear out of nowhere because they just, you know, drop in from the sky. However, if it's nice and sunny like it is today, then chances are you're not going to get a tornado. There needs to be some sort of storm. So it's going to be a stormy and gloomy day at their office, and usually, alright, so from my experience, I'm going to move this candle so I don't like accidentally like burn my hair. Usually when storms happen in the Midwest, there's a pretty good idea of if that storm is going to have the possibility of containing tornadic winds. Tornadic. I know tornadic is the right word because tornado, duh. Anyways, there's always a known idea if a storm could possibly contain a tornado, because I'm not a meteorologist or anything, but they can tell if there's any like what's this word? Spiral, circular, no? Rotating. Meteorologists can tell if there's any kind of like rotation in the is it Doppler? The Doppler radar? I don't know. Whatever awesome technology they use that like gives like the different altitudes, they can tell if there's like any kind of like rotation within the system that is going to be going over your town. So I can't just have them be at the office and then all of a sudden the tornado sirens go off, because that only I'm gonna need to edit a lot of this out. Okay, what the hell? Why is everything falling? Okay, so I can't just have this tornado just like pop up out of nowhere, because the only time that tornado sirens go off when there's no storm happening is on the first Tuesday of the month. And that's just a testing of the tornado sirens to make sure that they're working properly. So we're not allowed to have tornadoes on the first Tuesday of every month, okay? It's just, if you hear it on the first Tuesday of the month, it's not a tornado. Tornadoes don't happen on those days. And that's the tea. The Emotional Wound Thesaurus is really great at getting... Do you hear that? I think those were ducks. It went away. This Emotional Wound Thesaurus is really great at diving deep. So like it's really great to like pick one of these out for your characters, because it helps them it gives them more depth, and it's like a way to figure out what they really need to accomplish in the story that you're writing. So for example, Lena, when she was 16 or 17, her mother died of cancer, and it was one of the reasons why she pushed Kai away. And she actually pushed away all of her friends as well, but she eventually brought them back into her social circle. But she has this false belief that it's better to hold back than to love someone completely, and that's one of her issues that she's going to have during this story. And so there's this page dedicated to experiencing the death of a parent as a child or youth, and it says that the basic needs often compromised by this wound is safety and security and love and belonging. But she has this false belief that it's better to hold back than to love someone completely. And she's gonna have to, that's gonna be like her driving force of her saying that there's no way that she's going to be in this relationship with Kai, because she doesn't want to lose him like she lost her mother. And it's a false belief, because just because you lost your parent doesn't mean that you're gonna lose everyone you love. But when that happens, when you're young, and I can actually talk from experience, I lost my dad when I was 18. I would still say that losing a parent at the age of 18, this applies. And so Lena, she lost her parent at, I think I have it as she was either 16 or 17, or she was 16 and just about to turn 17. It was along those lines. So throughout this story of Project Catalina, Kai is going to want to be in this relationship with her, but she has this false belief that it's better to hold back. And she's going to have to overcome that throughout the story. So, and also, like, for, you know, the emotional wound thesaurus, it also goes in, it gives you like a whole bunch of different kinds of false beliefs that could be embraced. It gives you a list of fears that the character might have. So one of them could be being abandoned or rejected, losing a loved one, getting sick, and so on. And then there's also possible responses and results. So it could, one possible response to losing a parent when you're young is anxiety and depression, panic attacks, insomnia, guilt, feeling resentment or envy of people who have both parents. And I mean, there's like a whole long list. And then it also shows you personality traits that may form because of this emotional wound. And it'll give you the positives and it'll give you the flaws as well. So the positives could be, they could be affectionate, appreciative, nurturing, observant, patient, etc. And some of the flaws could be addictive, antisocial, compulsive, dishonest, disorganized, and there's a list, there's more to that list. And then it also tells you some triggers that may aggravate this wound. So the date of the parent's death. I can assure you it has been 12 years since I lost my dad. And when August 18th rolls around, I am emotional. I'm an emotional wreck. It has gotten easier, but it's still tough. So I can definitely tell you that rings true. Special life events, graduation, getting married, having a baby. Again, when I got married, I had a really hard time that my dad wasn't going to be there. He wasn't going to walk me down the aisle. Having a baby when I was pregnant with my first child, I had a hard time because I knew that she was never going to be able to meet her grandpa because he wasn't here anymore. So like, I can wholeheartedly attest that they have done their research with these books, and giving your characters just one emotional wound will make your story so much deeper. So I highly recommend this. And actually, just even going through this, it's reminding me that I need to add more of that into my story. So I think this is already a success for my brainstorming experiment. So what I wrote down is, it's better to hold back than love someone completely, because I think that's going to resonate the most with Lena. And I feel like that is one of the reasons why she will just keep pushing Kai away. So I think my next scenario should be figuring out what Kai's emotional wound is. And I think that'll help me. So I'll get back to you when I figure that out. what's going to be a problem or an emotional wound for Kai is his parents' divorce. Now, back when Lena and Kai were in high school, Kai's parents were together and they went on family vacations with Lena's family and her parents. So they were like best friends and everything. So I'm thinking after Kai goes to college, his parents are going to get divorced. I think that's what's going to happen. So let me write that down. Okay, so I think he's gonna have trust issues. Now, it might be easier for him to trust Lena because they have such a history, but I think that's also going to play a big problem because she already pushed him away once. So if he has this false belief that everyone keeps secrets, so he can't trust anyone completely, he's not going to be able to trust Lena right away. And so I think that's going to be his big obstacle that he needs to overcome by the end. And these two problems are going to be pushing at each other, and it's going to be pushing them away, even though they are drawn to each other. So it's going to be this push and pull. And by the end of the story, when they overcome these issues, gonna be beautiful, right? So this brainstorming experiment has just been such a good idea. I'm so happy I took the now 2 days to figure this stuff out. But I feel like if you don't figure this stuff out, then it's one, more work for you to figure out later on down the road, and two, it's harder to do the drafting, it's harder to tell yourself the story when you don't know what the obstacles are for the story. So Lena thinks it's better to hold back than to love completely, and Kai thinks that everyone keeps secrets, so he can't trust anyone completely. Once Lena and Kai overcome those obstacles, they can finally be together fully. And so now I just have to figure out all of the ups and downs onto that journey. So yes, one for Stephanie. Okay, so I think I'm going to sign off for now. Next week I'll come back with some other WIP Diary video. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave your ideas down below and I will write them down and I will talk to you about it, on the next ones. But for now, I'm going to put the stuff that we brainstormed together today to the test. I'm going to start writing and you'll find out if I did any better in my next vlog. Alright, till next time. Bye!